This is Joab Silva again. I really hope you can, you've been enjoying the tutorials, and I'm gonna post another video here today. Please subscribe the channel, support the channel, so you can keep yourself updated. You can keep this channel working. I'm definitely I'm going all the way. I'm posting so many different videos. I'm planning to create some tutorials on Touch Designer too, and that's gonna come at some point soon. But again, yeah, thanks for supporting, thanks for stopping by. So I'm gonna continue work with Photoshop. I updated my software. A few of you guys, I just had a previous version, just updated for a newer one. Not too far ahead, it's just like one update. I'm working with, let me just show to you the version that the 24.7 version of Photoshop. I had the 24.0, so it's relatively new, the version that I had. There is absolutely a very, very minor change, but nothing noticeable, you know, in the software. So, you know, if you're working with a 24.0, just update it if you want to follow this tutorial, but not you know, honestly, you really don't need it to update. Okay. All right. So today the plan is to create, to work with, to develop a GIF or GIF, as some of you called, image. I'm going to work with a moving image today, multiple images. And I really hope you can enjoy. So let's just dive in, okay? So I'm here in the interface on this section of the software. I just opened the softwares. I have a lot of images, recent images that I've been working with my family and myself. I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna create a new, and then I'm gonna go into photos. Okay, I could go to be honest, I could go to many other places here to create this tutorial, but I'm gonna go into photos. Okay. I'm going to rename this to GIF or GIF project, and I'm going to go into pixel here. I could go into inches. I'm going to just go into pixels so I can see a little bit of the size. I am on the landscape orientation, and this project is going to be a portrait project. So I'm going to just change the orientation here for a portrait. So this shows the size of my image, and here shows the resolution. Really, really good resolution, 300 dpi, which is honestly is the most, it's the minimum good recommended resolution. If you go lower than that, sometimes if you have to send emails to people, when they ask for images or projects, 150, it's pretty decent. Some people go, some places even ask for 75 or 72, between 70, but 150 usually through email is pretty good. 300 is definitely, you can run this nicely on projections and on monitors. It's a good resolution. So I'm going to stick with this for the sake of the tutorial so you can get some really nice resolution. Okay, the size is pretty okay. I always can resize, but the resolution I should not change. Color mode, RGB color, because I'm working with a digital image. I'm not creating a project to print. If I wanted to print this, I would go to CMYK, which is cyan and yellow and other colors here. But red, green, and blue, straight to the web. That's what I want to work with. White background, it's no problem. I can delete that right now, or I can put black or transparent. It doesn't matter. I don't need to change anything on here. This is a square pixel again. I'm definitely gonna work with pixels. So things looks good here right now, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just create. So this is what I have, a portrait orientation. That's the interface of the software. First thing, I don't need to do anything here right now in the background. We always can delete this. So this is the latest version of the software. Okay, the latest version. There's nothing I mean, nothing changed here. For what we're going to be using for this software, I have all the tools available here. Here in the workspace, we are using the motion working space. So a few things here. Really pay attention to this, okay? It's very important. And honestly, when I opened today my software, I rearranged a few things here because when I opened the software, this entire window was so big and I could not find my timeline. So make sure that you grab your window and change your window to make sure that is a good, you know, you actually can see the timeline. My timeline was all the way on the bottom, and I was like, where's my timeline? Where's my timeline? I could not find. So it was because my window was really big, and the timeline was all the way down. Okay, if you can't find the timeline, you can come here to Window, and you want to make sure that it's checked, the timeline, because if it's not checked, you will see that's already gone, right? My timeline is gone, it's not checked. I need to go ahead and check the timeline because that's what I'm going to be working with the software. Cool. All right. So here I have the timeline. I have my my blank background here, and what I'm going to do now. There is a create video timeline here. There is a create frame animation available here too in the timeline. You also can see there's a play button, that's forward, that's a sound button here too. Okay, we are not creating a video. Okay, what we're going to be creating will be a GIF image, and as if you don't know, GIF images, a GIF project, a GIF animated object, they are created by frames. And video, obviously video too, that's frame by frames. You always can cut the video to the frames. But a GIF gives you even more a sharp division. It's like literally it's a entire timeline divided by frame. Okay, so what we want to do here is to create a frame animation. Okay, so that's the point what we're going to be doing here, create a frame animation. I'm going to just go ahead right now and go to files, and I'm gonna go to import. So you can see here in import there's a video frames to layer, image from device, notes. Okay, there's also an import for an iPad, for an iPhone or iPad, take a picture, scan documents, add sketch. So you're gonna go to import, and you're gonna go video frames to layers. Okay. So really pay attention to this, and just even before import, I would tell you what actually this is going to do, because that's literally what actually this says, what you are actually reading here. So video frames to layer. So what's going to do is it's going to get the frames of each video, right? If each frame of each video has, 60 frames per second, or whatever amount of frames that video have, or 30 frames per second, whatever that is, you will break down the entire video frames into layers. So as you can see here on my layers, I only have one layer here, which is the background, which I'll delete this background later. So what's going to happen is going to break down that video, okay? So you're going to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead, video frames to layers. I'm gonna find my video here, and I'm gonna open. So here I have my video imported here, as you can see, right here, the video. I just recorded the video with my phone. I imported it to my computer. So here you can see that's already pre-checked from beginning to the end, which I can cut this video here if I want to. It's a very short video, okay, very short. Also there's select range only, so it says use the trim controls below. If I want to use the trim controls just to trim the video, but I want the entire video right now because I always can delete and rearrange the things out there. And here it says make frame animation. You want to make sure that this is checked, because if this is not checked, the GIF image will not work, at least right now, okay? So here also says limits to every 2 frames. You don't need to check on this. You can leave it because you can adjust this on a timeline, okay? So everything looks good here. As you can see, I'm gonna just play to show you the video. Just myself moving my head is like a very, very short video. I mean, seriously, it's just a couple of seconds, okay? Very, very, very short. Maybe, I don't know, 6 seconds. So you're gonna see how many frames that's gonna create, those 6 seconds, okay? So if there's 60 frames per second, and there's 6 seconds, you can say that 6 times 60. It's a lot of frames, right? So let's just double check things out. All right, so then I'm gonna click OK. And I got a pop-up message that says, "This will produce a large document and possibly take a long time." So you can see 6 seconds. It can take a lot of time. So when you are this is very important. When you are recording, whatever you're going to be working, whatever gifts you're going to be working, you need to work with very little seconds. I would say, I don't know, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Okay. Because if the videos that you have is 60 frames per second or even more frames per second, you're going to work with a really large amount of images and your GIF is going to be very big. Also would depend the resolution of the video too. On that note, you needed to remember the types of GIFs that you have in your phone. You know, a lot of you guys have been working with GIF images. And the GIFs are very short. It's just this looping animation that never stops. It's like just 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, someone saying something and moving their head. So really, really think about that. If you have a 20 seconds video that you want to give, you're going to have thousands of images. So be aware of that, okay? You know, I would throw out there like between 3 to 5 seconds. It's already enough images for you to work and create something fun. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go click and continue here. It's going to take a little time. The software, Photoshop is breaking all my images, you know, breaking the entire video into frames. So you can see here now on the timeline, all my frames is right here, all breaking down, all the frames, and you can see I can tell you. So let's see how many frames I got here. So 363 frames. Okay, that's what I got. Okay. I don't need this histogram or this info here right now. I'm gonna just close those panels and close that tab group. So I don't want the libraries or adjustments. Let me see the adjustments, what's important. I don't need that. I'm gonna just close it because the only thing that I want here right now is my layer so I can actually see all my frames. So all the frames are here, okay? All the frames are right here. Okay, all right. So if you can see here, if I push the play button here, it just play really normal. I mean, there's some sort of like glitches, a little bit slow because as you can see, as you can see, this moving image here right now is not just a video. It's like one image on the top of other image. Okay, so it's one by one. So therefore, it's already very slow on that note. I do not need a large amount of images for this GIF for this GIF. Okay, I do not need. But before we start deleting things out here, it will be really important for you to really pay attention. Okay, this is a really fun process, but also can be a very complicated process too. Okay, so really pay attention. All right, so the fun thing about creating GIF images in Photoshop is that man, there's like an enormous amount of possibilities that you can do with this, right? It's a little bit time consuming, but it's definitely worthy in the end, okay, in what you can do, okay? All right, so let's just dive in. So I'm gonna select on a layer 1 here, okay? I'm selecting on layer 1. let me just click see if I can find a layer 2 here. All right, so I'm selecting the layer 1. I can't select things out here. As you can see, my head moving a little bit. I'm on a timeline, okay, playing with this. But I'm selecting a layer 1 here. So the layer 1 is an image, right? If I delete this layer 1 here, if I delete this layer 1, if I select here and delete, you can see that the image on the frame 1 got deleted because it used to be the layer 1. I just click Ctrl Z to go back, right? So that means that whatever I do in this layer 1 here, it's going to show on this frame 1 only. It's not going to go on a frame 2 because the frame 2 is the layer 2. Okay? All right? So let me just, and all the frames are also unlocked. Okay? So let me just get a color here and just play with this a little bit. Okay? So I'm in my frame 1 here, and I'm going to just go ahead and just make something on my head here with yellow and make something fun here. Just basic, not to take a lot of time, just for you to have fun, okay? Right there. Okay, right there. Okay, so I have this right now. And I'm on a frame 1, layer 1 selected, okay? So if I click on the layer on a frame 2, nothing shows because I don't have the eyes here, okay? I don't have the eyes showing, okay, right now. So you can see the frame 2 already there's a problem here already because I clicked on the eyes here, okay? So these are the things that you really need to pay attention, okay? Anything that you do in the other layers, you know, just by checking on, it can be problematic already, okay? So really, really be aware of that, okay? So that's kind of the tricky about working with GIF images, okay, in Photoshop. Okay, so let me just go back right now and fix this right there. Hold on. Right there. I just clicked in Ctrl Z. So one of the recommendations here for you need to work very slow with this, okay? Very, very slow. One of the recommendations here is that you could lock all the frames that you are not working with, so you're not going to do anything on them, and work one by one, very careful, okay? So it's very important that you really pay attention, okay? So right now, I'm not touching in any layer here or not doing anything with any layer, okay? So what I'm going to do here is just to play with the timeline, okay? Not playing with the layers, but actually playing with the timeline. So you do not want to test your animation by playing with the layers and adding, making the layers visible by clicking on here, okay? You don't want to do that because it's going to modify the images on the timeline. If you want to test your animation, click on the play button or just select the frames in the timeline. So really pay attention to that. Again, I keep highlighting that, okay? All right, so I have these frames here. You can see that's really fun animation now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to the frame 3 in a timeline, and you already can see it's the layer 3. I'm going to just click the layer 3, and I'm going to just modify that frame, okay, right now. So let me just add a filter on that frame. Let's see, I'm going to just add a pixel frame. This is going to be fun right there, a really weird one. So you can see it just added a filter on a layer 3 because the layer 3 is selected, because the frame on my is selected, okay? So you can see now I can just have this really weird animation here already, okay? Right there. So if I play this, it's going to play too fast. You see, obviously, because I didn't change the time, but you can see, okay? So imagine you changing every layer here, every layer, okay? How fun this would be, okay? All right, so I have that. I'm gonna change the layer 4. I selected my frame here. I selected my layer, and then I'm gonna just I'm gonna change the color. Let me just grab a weird color here, and just let's see what we can do. Can make a lot of dots here. Just to modify a little bit things out, okay, to have fun. All right, right there. So you can see now it's how things change, okay? So so you need to remember that you need, it is pretty much, you need to be very consistent, okay? So this is the pattern. You select, again, select the image on the timeline, select the frame, the layer, sorry, select the layer, and change the layer and do whatever you want to do on the layer. Select the frame on the timeline. I have the frame, select the layer, and do whatever you need to do with the layers. Let me just go with a different filter gallery. I can just go with that one, okay? All right, so as you can see now, let me select here. So it's gonna be changing, okay? So there's so much that you can do here. You can resize the images. You can really crazy alter the entire layer, which is really fine. Again, do not click on the eyes, don't check the image, just select it, okay? Select the image, okay? Again, you can resize the image if you want to, okay? So just be aware of that. So I am on a layer 5 here. I'm gonna click on the layer 5. I can just alter the image in any way that I want to. So that will be just, again, you would just, remember, you would just really change. All right, so when you say, oh, Joab, my video is really big, what should I do? You can cut it off your video, you know? I'm gonna just cut it off here. I'm just gonna delete all your frames if you want to. Oh, I'm gonna be working with 5 frames only, okay? You select the frame. So you see I'm on a frame 6 here. I'm gonna go ahead all the way to my frame. I'm gonna hold the shift first, the shift button. I'm gonna click on a frame so you can see everything selected. I'm just gonna be working with the 6 frames for this animation. Well, there are 6 frames. Let's go back all the way down. 6 frames, actually 5 frames. And I'm gonna come here to the trash. You see the trash? I'm gonna just click trash. Or I deleted all the frames. The thing is that you can see now all my frames. I keep saying frames. I deleted all my layers. Okay, I deleted all my layers. So I only have 5 layers. As you can see now, I have all my frames empty here on my timeline. I need to delete them too, otherwise it's going to be an empty animation. Okay, so I'm going to select the frame 6 here, go all the way to my last one, hold the shift and click on it so you can see everything selected. Go to the trash button, click it, and you can see delete the frames. Yes, I'm going to delete the frames. So I only have 5 frames and 5 layers. So if I play my animation now, as you can see that I already have a GIF. And this is really fun because I only have 5 frames and I'm already getting this really fun effect, this GIF animated. So with 5 frames, man, you can do a lot. So think about you doing this with 300 frames and modifying 300 frames, how that would be, okay? All right, so this is pretty much how you do it. So let me pause here. And the other things that I want to show to you, for you to, because you need to save your work, and also you need to, save your work pretty much. All right, so Other thing here that's very important, as you can see, when I play, it's pretty fast, right? You can change the time of how each frame, play. So right now, as you can see here, the time of each frame is 0.02. So let me just click right under the frame here, and you can see that it shows 0.2 seconds. So it's kind of pretty fast. It can be longer, okay? It definitely can be longer. So one frame can be faster, can play faster, the other frame can be longer. But you have an option here, 10 seconds each frame, 5 seconds each frame, 2 seconds, 1 second, 0.5 seconds, 0.2, which is the one that 0.1 seconds, or no delay. So you can, or you order. So you have a chance to change how fast each frame plays. Okay, so you can play with that here too. There's another option here that says forever, or just 3 times, or play at once and it stops. I put it forever because usually GIF images, they are looping animated moving images. Okay, so so I like that too. Other thing that you could do too here, you have this plus button here too, that if you click on this plus button, you can create a hold on, let me just create a frame here. First, not frame, I keep saying frame. I'm gonna click on the plus button. I'm gonna create a layer, and you can see this layer here is empty layer. I can go ahead and create a new frame. There's a new frame here, the frame 6. And after I create a frame 6, as you can see, this frame 6 here, right now, it is a copy of the layer 5 because there's the eye here, okay? So if I take off this view eye here, the frame 6 is not showing. So what I want to do is, I want to play with this empty frame, this empty layer on the frame 6. So I'm gonna uncheck here. So you can see I have nothing on this, but I actually needed to make this layer on view on the frame 6. So if I go ahead and just create something there, let me just make something here now. Right there, you'll be able to see that now you have all those kind of things here going on. So a few things here that's important, okay? And I want to show to you why it's showing on each frame here that blue and a few frames are not, okay? So as you can see, I'm going to select the frame 1 here. As you can see, the frame 1, it has the layer 1 on view, and also the layer 6 on view, so it's one layer on top of the other. And you can do a lot with that by layering the layers, okay? So I have the layer 6 selected here. I'm gonna go to the normal here right now, and I'm gonna just choose something that's really fun here, okay? Let's see, I'm gonna go to the lighten, let's say the difference, see something that's really fun here for me. All right, this one here, the overlay. So I'm selected the overlay. So you can see that blue overlays with the other frame. I'm gonna go to the frame 2 right now. And the frame 2 doesn't have much. What I'm gonna do is this layer, let me actually change a little bit. That's the frame 2, layer 2. I'm gonna just actually change the layer 2, and I put the layer 2 into, let's see, the layer 2 will not do much. Actually, I'm going to add a filter in the layer 2, because the layer 2 doesn't have anything. I'm going to go to filters, and I'm going to go to filter gallery, and I'm going to add something fun on that. I'm going to add this glowing edges here. All right. Right there. So there's a golden there is the glowing edges filter in a layer 2. I'm gonna go to the layer 3. The layer 3, the layer 6 is not selected. I could select the layer 6 on that, but I just don't think that's necessary. This layer here, the layer 6 is here. I will put the screen on it. I have this layer, which is the layer 5, and it does not have a layer 6 on. I could add the layer 6. I don't need it, but just let's see right now. So you can see that I can add one layer on top of the other. Okay, I can just go ahead here, also add back the layer 4 on the layer 6 if I want to, okay, or the layer 3, whatever I need to do. Okay, so the layer 6 again doesn't have anything, and also other things too. You can see that's a hierarchy going on here, right? The layer 6 is on top of all the other layers. Therefore, for example, if let me just select this one here, which this became very, very interesting. So the layer 6 is on top of layer 3, but the layer 6 is actually not showing on top of here. So let me see right now. Yeah, so that will show now because the effect was a different effect. So so if I added this layer 3 on top of the layer 6, you will not be able to see. Okay, so let me just play right now. Actually, I'm gonna take this layer 6 off, at least from this layer 3 here. Okay, so let's play right now and see what's going on right now. All right, so you can see how things got really, really interesting with different layers and effects. Okay, so so that's pretty much how you create a GIF image, you know. So play with that. That's a lot that you can do. Okay, all right, so all right, so for right now, so how do you save this now? How do you save this as a moving image? Okay, so really pay attention here. So you have files here. You so you're gonna go to file. I have everything saved. Everything's really, really, really fine here for right now. I mean, there's so much that you can do. Okay, and you have let's see, you have export. Okay. And then it's very, very important, okay, now that you need to do this, right? So you have this save for the web here, okay? You have quick export as PNG, you don't want export as, export preferences, and a save for the web, and it's a legacy, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the save for the web, okay? Or when you save for the web, this is what's gonna open to you, okay? So there's the original, there's optimize, you know. You can leave the original because that's actually what you're gonna be looking at, okay? That's the original. And that's the place that you're gonna go, okay? So right here, you can see PNG 8, which PNG is vector images, and you can see already a lot of the colors got divided. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna click here on PNG and you're gonna go to GIF. Okay, so just waiting a little bit. You can see in the GIF, it's just perceptual here. Adaptive, restricted, grayscale, black and white, Windows, Mac. You don't need to change anything. You can leave perceptual here. Diffusion, patterns, noise. You don't need to do none of those things. If there are transparencies in your image, you, for example, left a piece of this image here with a with missing parts, and you can see the background, the empty background. You just click on transparency. Otherwise, you can uncheck this if you don't have any transparencies. Because if you have transparency, you can play with this. Other things too, colors. I mean, that's an image. I don't need to work with any colors because I'm actually working with JPEGs and not PNGs, which you will be working with colors. Pretty much you don't need to change anything else. You can resize the image right here on the spot, change the quality a little bit, but here is very important, okay? So looping option, again, it came out forever. once, you want to live forever because this is a gift and you want that to be looping, okay? And then after you've done that, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna click save, rename your image, forever GIF, and I'm gonna save it, find a spot and save it. Okay, all right, so that's saved the image. Now, how do you play a GIF image? Okay, you can add the image as an image into a website, and you also for the image to play very nicely, it needs to work on a browser, on internet browser. If you try, this is not a video image, this is not a video, okay? A GIF is not a video, it's still an image animated, okay? So you need to know, because if you click 2 times on it, it's just gonna open as an image, okay? It's not gonna open as a video, and I want to open for you to show to you what I mean, okay? So just give me a second here. I'm gonna open for you and you will see what actually look like. I'm gonna open as an image and I'm gonna open as a working GIF, okay? All right, so let me just change the application so you actually can see. All right, so here right now, as you can see on the screen, I have an open GIF, okay? So I just clicked 2 times on a file that I saved, and as you can see, it's PNG here, and I will work a little bit with this on saving on Photoshop again. So you can see a little bit better all the other colors. Okay, why did you change the colors? I never showed to you. I'm gonna get back to Photoshop because I already know where I missed. But just want to show this to you, at least for you to see. So I clicked 2 times on a file, and it opened as an image, okay, as like 6 images, as I told you that you would do. And they don't have any play button here. Okay, I'm using a Mac. I opened here in a preview and it just broke down for me. It doesn't have a play button. So it's just like separate images, not a GIF as GIF/GIF as we usually see on the internet. So the only way that I will be able to see displaying, and again, is if I see this open on an internet browser. Okay, so I need to click with the right button on the file and open on again on an internet browser, or I can drag that into a website just as an image instead, like a picture, as literally the GIF as an image into the website, and it will play. So let's see how that works, okay? So now you can see that I opened the image on the internet browser, and now it's really playing really fine. I open on a Google Chrome, just click with the right button, open in Google Chrome, and it's playing pretty nicely and fast. Okay, so that's kind of pretty much how you create a GIF image, okay? A GIF image. And it's nicely working. It just I need to change the color and save it differently. But I'm gonna just go back there and save it nicely. So let me go back to Photoshop. All right, back in Photoshop. All right, so going back again to File, and I'm gonna save it. Again, I'm gonna just go to Export, save it for Web Legacy, and I have the images like this. Colors, that's where I missed here. So colors, I'm just gonna go ahead and put 256 colors on. It's gonna take a little time. Now I have all the images. What does is, let me just make this bigger a little bit so you can see. What does is that JPEG image, it breaks down into more sharpened pixels, or I would say even vector images. So it's all the images broken down into pixels, okay? Becomes a little bit more pixelated, as you can see here on the screen. So because it's just 256 pixels, doesn't that's kind of how it does the job. So therefore, when you see a GIF image on the internet, it's always very pixelated. Okay, so didn't miss anything here. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna just play here to see a little bit right there. That's what's gonna be the final object, and that's pretty much okay. I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna save on top of the other one that I have. Just save. I'm gonna replace it, and I'm gonna play that for you so you actually can see it nicely playing as I told you. So let's just open the internet browser and show that for you right now. Right there, the image is nicely playing as I told and as I created in Photoshop. So yeah, so this is a really fun project. I love it, this project. I really hope you can have fun. Don't just work with 5 layers. I would recommend you to blast and go all the way to 100, 200 layers. I created the projects before with a lot, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of layers, work on individually in each one of them, playing with the timing too, okay? Give it thumbs up, subscribe the channel, and looking forward to talk to you guys more. All right, have fun. All right, bye-bye.